Hello, this is the first podcast,
Episode?
Uno.
Yeah, numero
Aye.
uno.
Of
Ein.
Right.
giving this
Un.
podcast shit a go, I suppose.
We're
Right.
gonna record this in multiple different languages, or just multiple languages. I don't know if that
But
makes any
apart
sense.
from
But
anything
anyway,
that's not English.
it's not even English.
Multiple
Yeah,
languages.
even my English isn't up to par. But I still live on.
Spoken in multiple not languages.
I said multiple different languages. That made no sense. So I was just
Sorry,
like,
my
okay.
auto cue stopped running. Oh, I'll just wing
Let's,
Yeah, basically, we watched earlier. We watched a video of Michael Bay that went to this like tech conference, a Samsung Tech conference, and it was just a video of him on stage, trying to read the teleprompter, but the teleprompter couldn't catch up with what he was trying to say, so he kind of just fucked up.
who? Yes, but who are
And then
we?
he was just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna win it. Yeah, sorry, man."
Yeah, but who are we?
Well,
Oh, well, yeah. Well,
to-
anyway, we
to
watched that
be-
video.
To
And
be
it was
decided,
funny.
I suppose. Don't know.
Who are we?
Don't know what the name will be. I guess we'll decide at some point or during this podcast, and then whatever the name is when it's actually uploaded, and whoever watches this will already know. I'm looking reading.
Yes, but what are our names? Who are we?
Oh yeah, that's we should introduce ourselves. That's like common courtesy.
Okay,
So-
Courtesy.
Jack.
Well, I'm Bradley. Wait.
I'm Jack.
Great start. And I'm obsolete.
Your name is Alexander. No.
My name
My
is
name
Bradley.
is
for
Right.
fuck's
Anonymous.
sake.
Well,
My name is Anonymous User.
anonymous user's real name is
Okay.
actually.
Anonymous. That's
Right.
his real name. That's the name he was given at birth
Right,
by his
well.
mum and dad.
Anyway, I'm Jack, obviously, as Bradley pointed out when he was like, "So you're Jack, so you need to say your name, Jack." Jack.
Yeah, that
introduce
joke.
yourself as Jack.
Yeah.
So, Bradley, how about you introduce your name?
Hi, I'm Oliver.
Oh, that was wrong. Try again.
Oh, for goodness. Sorry, start again. My name is Ollie. That guy that looks like a koala bear on Skype, which you
Nobody
won't be able
can
to
see this.
I know they won't be able to
You
see it.
can't see
But
it.
he's
I'm the
his
koala bear.
profile picture is
I'm
of a
Jack.
koala bear.
I'm actually a panda, really. An
And
opinion.
we're three friends from a town in Somerset. called
I'm
Fruit.
Bradley.
And one of us, being me, is actually in Westbury and not Broome, because I moved.
Oh yeah, he did move. Not
Technically,
long ago.
he's not in Somerset. He
I am
is in.
Wiltshire.
He's in
Wiltshire.
Australia right now,
I'm in
humping
Australia in a tree,
humping some tourists,
giving them herpes.
giving them
Is
chlamydia.
it herpes? Chlamydia, not herpes.
Yeah, I heard stories about One
I think
Direction
it's-
getting chlamydia
Yeah, that's
because they were hugging,
That was just wishful
because
thinking.
they were like holding on to some koala, and I thought that was just
It
hilarious.
was hilarious, but it was unfortunately just wishful thinking that didn't actually.
It didn't happen. It was wishful, but it didn't happen.
Have sex with them.
So,
Well, no, you don't need to have sex with them. It's not sexually transmitted with koalas. I don't know science, but anyway. What is a science?
Koala
Anyway.
STI.
so, Jack, can you talk to us about your Excel
Expo.
Expo?
is it?
It was a wearable tech expo at Excel London. Basically, smartwatches and smartphones and wearable gear that you could put on while you run, and it measures your heartbeat and your BPM. Obviously, beats per minute is heart rate anyway. But yeah, it was pretty boring. Saw about 30 different smartwatches and different bands you put on that you wear when you're running, and it records your stuff, and then the other smartwatches that just let you answer calls and get the time to change, like Bradley's dad's watch can do, which he will tell you about probably in just a sec after I'm done talking.
Yep.
And there were also a couple of 3D printers there that were pretty cool. I got to handle some 3D printing, 3D printed stuff, and watch stuff be printed, and it was pretty fascinating.
Stop being printed.
Yeah, stuff being printed in a 3D printer, and it was cool. No guns
I
though.
love how you just elaborated on that. Stuff was being
Shit was
printed,
being printed.
and there was stuff on
I didn't stick around long enough for it to be finished.
You didn't stick long enough to see the paper being printed. It was like halfway.
It wasn't paper,
yeah,
it was 3D
I've got no
printing,
time.
We went.
Can you imagine?
It was printed. No, it crunched up in the printer. Anyway.
But can you imagine, like, say, 30 years ago? Oh my God, this is a printing conference.
Wow.
It's just a bunch of printers.
Yeah. HP is
This
here.
one does.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't seen this before.
This one's got color. How many? 4 colors.
Yes. Anyway, there was came across this cool little app that it's called Zapper, and it's actually an app you can download onto your phone, and they give you this little free book. It's like a little children's book, and there's this little sort of lightning bolt on the pictures, and what it is, they've put an image down and they've actually layered other images on top and video on top. So when you scan it with your app, the animation comes to life. And they had an example on a magazine where there were 3 guys stood on the front page, and they scanned it with their phone, and the video started playing of the 3 guys. So it was like the actual video started coming to life off the front of the magazine, and the video was actually moving around with the magazine, like the magazine was a video player, and it was actually really cool. And I'm actually doing a review of the application myself in a blog on the website that I am part of called Opinionated Panda. A little bit of self-advertising there.
Wow.
Our website goes up on the 16th, I believe. As of this time being recorded on the 11th. So in 5 days' time, from when I record this, you can actually go and see my little review on the...
I heard so much about all these, like, hologram technologies. Like, coming out of Microsoft, they've already announced this. Like,
Have you
I
seen?
forgot the name of it, but it was...
Have you seen the
I
trailer
saw
for
a
it?
picture of a girl next to this massive projection of, like, planet Earth or something ridiculous.
Have you seen the video?
So cool. I've not seen the video. I saw images, but it was trending
Didn't they
at the
do
time.
the
The
Minecraft
video-
one as well?
Yeah.
Is it
It's,
Minecraft one?
Yeah.
no.
Oh,
Watch the video. Watch
They actually
the
it was
video.
projecting Minecraft.
Yeah, I'll
on
look
their
out for
table
that.
and their couch and stuff. That's cool.
I'll look out for it.
All I want to
Definitely.
see is the chess from Star Wars and wizard chess, really. I just want to be able to play 3D chess and then all set up like a Warhammer game or D&D, just in holograms of virtual reality instead of having cards and imagination.
Oh, imagine that Yu-Gi-Oh in real life.
You play
Oh,
Yu-Gi-Oh
wow.
cards and you scan
Yeah,
it. and
just
it
have
actually comes
like the TV show where they project the frickin' monsters
up. That'd be great.
But-
onto the playing field.
Or-
Oh my god, that'd be so
Yeah.
cool.
Or
That
if
way, Yu-Gi-Oh would
Yeah,
make
if you
more
had
money.
your like Google glasses on or whatever, and you were looking through, you could actually see the
Oculus
monsters coming
Rift.
up like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon, if you were to play Pokemon with your friends through the VR.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Yu-Gi-Oh makes more sense because the TV show is basically the
Yeah,
same,
that's
where
true.
it's just
And
like.
then if you think about the
cards.
Pokemon games, you actually get your Pokemon out and they fight on the plane in front of you. And if you could actually
True.
have that on a tabletop or in a field or something with your friends, that'd be great. Obviously, everyone else would think you're a weirdo, but
well, I mean, if you like with the Microsoft thing, that could be done. Like you're just in your house, and because it shows up a couple of different things. If you and your friend want to play, say you've both got a pack of cards, and then say you transport yourself into a room, the entire room goes black and differs,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
it's just you two standing apart. So say you're in like some, like I don't know, give me an example of a realm that people go to, like a card, like oh we're in this realm now,
yeah,
like this they're in their living room or something, and then they put down that card, and then the entire living room through their eyes is gone, and they're in this new
yeah,
place.
like in Yu-Gi-Oh! If you play a field spell,
Yeah.
it changes to like
Yeah, like that.
meadow or something like that.
Yeah.
They've announced the Buried Alive simulator. I don't know if it's with Oculus or not. But it actually
Oh god.
puts you inside of a coffin, and on the article that I saw, a guy was actually in a coffin in the picture. I'm not sure if he was actually playing the game or doing the simulation at the time.
Oh my god, there's like so many variations of that. There's so many like simulators that are just downright
Oh yeah.
stupid, like rock simulator
Well,
or
thinking
toilet
about
simulator.
being overdone. There's
There's-
about 1.5 million VR headsets now. There's at least there
It's
were at
I
stupid.
least
think it's
8.
I think it's more effective. I think it's more effective on Oculus
Yeah.
Rift because I've seen
Well,
videos of
I think Project
people.
Morpheus is leaps and bounds ahead of them at the moment.
Oh
it's-
right, is that the one where you're walking on a platform and it's got like this circle around you to shield you from like trying to walk off?
Yeah, I think so. I think
So it's
I
like a
don't- I
little
don't know if it was
treadmill.
Morpheus or if it was
Oh,
Vive,
basically, yeah.
or whatever it's called from Steam. I think it's Steam's Vive or whatever it's called.
It's Valve and HTC. They've come together to make a VR
Yeah.
headset.
Yeah, I saw
And-
a thing of a guy who was using it, and there was this simulator where he was looking at a whale, and it came up right next to him, and he could like look right into the whale's eye and stuff. And apparently, it was even though he was in a big crowded room, he actually felt isolated and in a little world of his own, which is not easy to do. And he was surprising. He was really surprised how far VR has come, even though it's still a brand new thing, really.
Well, VR's been around for
Oh,
ages.
yeah,
I mean, look at what was
Virtual
it?
Boy.
The Nintendo,
But
Virtual Boy.
that was back in the day. I mean, like the Oculus Rift really came about a few years ago, and then everyone else suddenly jumped on the train, and now people I haven't tried it myself, but lots of people are actually saying that it's actually really well developed, and they're actually working really well. And it's, instead of just being a shitty little gimmick that's gonna die, it's actually gonna go somewhere. And with things like Project Morpheus coming out for the PS4, everyone will be applicable because loads of people have PS4s. Like with the Oculus Rift, not everyone's going to have a decent PC, so they might not be able to use it, or they might not be able to afford it. But
Yeah.
if it's just a peripheral for their games console, everyone's going to be able to use it.
That's very true.
Right.
Well, what do you think of like the whole Microsoft's hologram glasses things versus like VR?
Gaming wise, it's not as good, but then it has more potential than VR because if you think about 3D models and things like that, they might be able to start like Tony Stark and that shit, and engineering and and in the medical field, they might be able to start doing more complex things and making leaps and bounds
Yeah.
in surgery methods and figuring out what's up with people by taking when you're taking like CAT scans and 3D scans of people, you can actually interact with those in a 3D environment, and it would I think it would greatly improve.
So which would be heading towards like heads-up display, like
yeah, like a HUD in a
in
car
video
or
games
something.
and stuff. Yeah. I mean, there's HUD in cars. I mean, I was looking at
You already have a HUD in
a
a
long
car,
time. Yeah.
but carry on.
I was I was looking at a while ago, like HUD in real life. The closest thing that I found was some skiing goggles,
Right.
which is what I saw of it was very, very cool. I mean, it had it like you wear the goggles, and then on the corner of the screen, it's got your altitude and your location, and your route down a mountain or route wherever it is. And then something that makes it very video game-esque is if you've got somebody else that's got it, and say you're skiing down a mountain and they pass you, on your headset it'll point it out for you.
Right.
Oh, there goes him. Which got me
Yeah,
thinking.
it actually points out that that particular person passed you, but then you would have to have their data.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
would have to have something on them. Well, they would have to have like facial
Well,
recognition or
they-
recognition of that
no,
specific clothes or something.
No, the other person had the skiing goggles as well.
So both people would have to have those goggles. Okay.
Yeah,
I have a question.
like Google
that?
Glass recognizes someone that's got Google Glass.
I have a question about virtual reality in general.
Yeah.
In terms of what connection does that have with the porn industry? Like, how's that? Like, that's a genuine question. Like,
that,
there are going to be a lot of lonely sad trolls out there just gonna be
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm gonna use this technology to be more lonesome and
Yeah,
more
suddenly I
sad.
have flashbacks to The Force Unleashed and Mass Effect 2 of virtual girls dancing on like pole dancing.
Mass Effect, yeah, having sex with aliens, strangers.
That would go more towards the
Yeah,
holograms thing rather than
virtual
VR.
porn dancing, pole dancing, and things like that.
Just,
Yeah, there's that in
I
game,
mean-
but there's also like Pornhub could buy the idea. They can invest money into that.
Yeah.
VR Pornhub.
Websites. Yeah.
VR,
Yeah, but-
Pornhub just has a new VR
If you've got,
section.
if you've
Yeah,
got,
they start making videos where it's like compatible with like Oculus Rift and stuff like that, and you see the girl in front of you, or two girls, or how many Gamban.
or
you know.
guys, depends
Or
on
guys.
quality.
Yeah, but I used girls as
Or
an
a mixture
example.
of the two.
Or a cup.
Or a cup.
Two girls, one cup.
If you're feeling really nasty.
Oculus version.
That'd be really weird if you had like if there was a virtual girl, like, and they were pretending to suck you off, and like it was doing it
You would,
obviously you
you would
couldn't
be
feel
feeling
it,
anything.
but then if you were like touching yourself at the same time and your hand was wet or something,
You get the experience,
sort of-
yeah.
Oculus,
Or
SK,
they create
or-
the sort of the same pleasure from the actual device itself and create a device that's like
so you feel like a flashlight.
does that for you. Like that
VR
machine that
flashlight.
they used in that film Bruno. The guy was on that um bicycle machine that was like going up in and out of
Anyway,
the guy's
moving away,
hands. Oh,
moving
anyway,
away,
Moving
from,
away from
from that shit.
literal shit.
news in video games. Yesterday, GTA Heist is finally here.
We were actually talking on Skype at the time, and I decided to go on GTA 5, and it started updating, and it was like a 4 or 5 gig file or whatever, and it was like, oh, I wonder if
Oh,
that's Heist
no.
finally, and it was, and I haven't actually played it yet. I went to bed because it was late, because I had to get up at 6 that morning because the expo was yesterday. And I was tired, but yeah, I don't really want to do a heist yet because I don't have anyone else to play with because no one else has an Xbox One.
So Oliver's finally gotten a PS3 for all of us to play GTA.
And
Yeah.
My PS3's
Justin-
been taken away, and his
In
Play
broke.
all
such
dictator of a
wonderful timing.
the PS3 that you gave me, it doesn't work.
It doesn't play games, no.
So I'm afraid
Wow.
you're on your own for a little while. Until next
It's
month.
I
not-
am.
Another PS3.
I'm still on the servers trying to fend myself against these absolute twats that are online
Well,
nowadays.
At the end of the
Now
month,
that
when I
you-
get paid,
now
I'll
that
buy
you-
like a pre-owned PS3 or something, and I'll come on and join you.
Are you guys? What games are you most looking forward to?
Ooh,
Of
in
this
the
year?
coming
Battlefront.
year?
Battlefront.
Battlefront, yeah.
Holy, okay, but none of you mentioned Batman Arkham Knight.
Battlefront. Sorry.
Oh my god,
Arkham Knight.
the gameplay trailer was phenomenal. It's like with the other
Yeah, but
previous
Battlefront-
games, they were quite set out to be just like very cliche and very generic games with like
Yeah, but it's not Battlefront.
it's true, but then you're Batman.
So
In
I
this
don't care.
game, they've created this environment, Gotham
Yeah.
City, to be what it's supposed to be, or how people envisioned it to
Yeah.
be. And the gameplay trailer is essentially Batman. He's been given a task to take down the Penguin or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I can't remember. And he just like you're on the edge of like this building, and you jump down, and you're just swooping through the city,
And then the fucking
and then you
Batmobile.
call upon your like
The Batmobile
Batmobile,
tank.
and it's crazy. It's mental.
I must admit, I've only played
So
like
cool.
an hour or so of Asylum.
And the graphics look
and
amazing.
I've watched Bradley play a little bit of City when I downloaded them when they were.
Arkham City's the best.
And then I think they
When
started.
it's closest to
Yeah, I think they started losing touch a little bit with Origins, but then with this one, it definitely looks like they've improved on the already great formula
Origins
of
just-
City.
developed by another company.
Yeah, but
Origins was
a
great.
lot of people.
It wasn't Rockstar.
Yeah, a lot of people sort of consider it part of the series, though.
Everything that I've
It's-
seen of Arkham or
But yeah, I played a little bit of
Origins,
Asylum.
Arkham Knight,
I played a little bit of
it's-
I watched a little bit
it
of City,
looks-
but I think Arkham, whatever it's called, Arkham Knight, is it's gonna be good, and I'm quite looking forward to it, especially on the next gen.
I am too. I especially
Yes.
like the opening sequence where the bat costume is actually like an Iron Man suit. It's like just forming around his body.
Yeah.
No,
It's-
that is the actual Arkham Knight. That's not Batman.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the Arkham Knight.
That's the Arkham Knight, not
No,
Batman.
no. Batman's suit in the game is like
No, that's the Arkham Knight suit.
right. Okay.
That's not
What are,
Batman.
what are you referring to? What are you referencing?
Arkham Knight. What you watched was the Arkham Knight suit. That wasn't Batman's suit. The Arkham Knight is not Batman.
Who is the Arkham Knight?
That's
We
the
don't know
question.
yet.
From the
That-
game.
that-
The
Yeah,
Arkham
from the
Knight
game.
is a
That's the
separate-
question.
Oh, I would have thought that you referenced some sort of comic.
No, but it's
No,
the
So I
Arkham Knight
know
is
that
somebody
before.
completely
in the
new.
game, the Arkham Knight is a separate character from Batman.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I haven't read the premise. I just know that the only prominent villain
Is the Arkham
Yeah,
Knight.
because obviously, spoiler alert.
Well, yeah, but
Joker's
it's
dead now.
also Scarecrow. Yeah.
So
Scarecrow
Yeah,
as well.
the-
Scarecrow was
yeah, the Arkham Knight's like the
was
bad
almost
guy in
key
this
to
one.
the revolution.
I don't know what.
That's interesting.
Um,
What about Mortal Kombat 10? Are they really up? They've upped their
it looks
game
good.
from the
I don't-
last
they've
one.
sort of started fresh by the looks of it, and then
It
No,
looked
no. They've had the same situation that goes on with Mortal Kombat 9, where it was a reboot of all three games put
Yeah.
together in one game.
Yeah.
And then this one is the sequel, but they've also introduced
they've
brutalities.
reintroduced brutalities.
They reintroduced.
Yeah, it was
I
in the
don't
older
know. I
games,
only
and
played
they've,
Mortal Kombat 9.
reintroduced them.
have they reintroduced babalities?
I'm sure they'll still be in there.
I wish.
They were in 9.
They've got new characters. I like the one with the giant brute-looking dude and
Which
the,
the small
the little
guy on his
kid
back.
that's on top of it. Yeah, the small one that's just guiding.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
That one's just fun. Yeah, and also there's the one with the creepy crawly legs coming out of her back.
It's pretty new. And I like that they've got the
Awesome.
different modes. It's like on the bounty hunter guy, he's actually got 3 different moves, 3 different modes with different colours. One is cyborg part, so like one's more of a melee, one's more of a laser optics, and the other one's more of a technical.
That's Kano.
Kano,
That's
the one.
Kano.
He's actually got
The Australian.
instead of just having a
Australian
specific
guy.
moveset, you can now switch between 3 different ones before the actual fight. So you can actually switch fighting styles depending on what you like. So if you like getting in close and actually pounding the shit out of someone with Kano, you can do that. Or if you don't really want to do that, you can switch over to a different style, so you use more of his optics and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
I believe that's the first time a fighting game has ever introduced that mechanic. I do believe.
I think.
I don't know if the new Tekken game is doing that, or the new Street Fighter 5.
Or
Street
the,
Fighter 5. I'm disappointed.
Street Fighter 5
in
looked
Street
good, but
Fighter 5.
the Tekken
It's,
trailer
it's,
was
it's coming
insane.
out on PC and PS4, and not the Xbox One.
yes, exclusive.
Exclusive.
But it's
Guess
going to be a
which one of
timed
those 3 I
exclusive,
have?
like
The Xbox motherfucking
The
one.
Xbox
And guess
One.
what? My favourite fighting series is Street Fighter, and they have betrayed me. They have betrayed me. I'll just
Why
go
have
back
they
to Street
betrayed
Fighter 2
you?
on the SNES. Like Street Fighter.
The SNES. You have the
Oh, yeah,
SNES?
of course I got a SNES.
Oh,
Got a SNES
nice.
and I got a Sega and an N64. I did have a GameCube. I'm not sure what happened.
Right. Let's move on to movies. I feel like we're moviegoers, right? We
before-
want to establish that we're both enthusiasts in film and video games and just anything that's considered.
May I
really.
make a
So-
point first?
Yeah.
Before we were talking about Batman, we were talking about Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Go on. Continue that one.
Right.
But that's a
Well-
long way away.
Oh yes, it's said to be coming out just before the new Star Wars film, because there are some assets from the Star Wars films, but not much. So it'll be coming out around that time before the new film.
Yeah.
but the majority of the story has been said to take place, some in the Clone Wars, some between Clone Wars and 4, and a lot of it between 4 and
Yeah.
6.
I wonder, although it was counted as non-canon, if Starkiller will make an appearance. I doubt it, but that'd be cool.
And he,
Even though he's
I mean,
non-canon.
we like Starkiller.
I believe that the new movies, and because it's owned by Disney, they've sort of rebooted it in their own way, that the new movies are not taking the expanded universe as actual canon.
No,
For instance, the novels, the video games, the comics.
Yeah,
everything.
well, I think
you're trying to steer this towards the extended universe being the comics.
Yeah, I know, but
we can
I
get
feel
onto
like with
that.
the new... Okay, but with the new game, I think they're going down. Are they going down the same path as the movies?
We
Because
don't
they're
know
owned by
yet.
Disney.
well, I think
Oh.
there was kind of a
Because they
a
can.
preempted storyline that would go on past, because they have actually written on past the latest episode, being episode 6. Not yes, it's 6. Yeah, episode 6. They have actually written on from that, and Han Solo's had a son, and Luke's got on with, what was her name? Mara Jade.
Mara
And
Jade.
They had
Yeah.
children.
I thought the girl in the new Star Wars trailer was a girl.
Well, the black
And
guy.
these.
That's
No.
that's not a girl.
Oh, Harrison Ford.
The
What have you been
Sith,
up to?
actually.
No.
I
The
can't
girl
remember
who
what they actually,
was on
did.
the Magman's
They actually
little
released-
spacecraft
Yeah, they
thing.
actually released playing cards, and
Apparently.
they released the name of that Sith that had sort of the lightsaber that also had the hilt sabers. I can't remember what the name of them was.
Ah, yes.
That's in the
Yeah, they
comics.
actually
That-
released a number of
That
playing
was
cards
released.
announcing the names
That
of the characters, which was cool. But yeah, Battlefront, they're using the Frostbite engine,
What-
which is the same
what
one
brought
as they
you-
use for Battlefield, so it's gonna look good. I just hope the
Yeah.
servers don't crash instantly as soon as it goes out.
Well, they're going to crash instantly. It's Star Wars, and it's Battlefront.
Yeah, of course they will.
I
but
mean, Battlefront.
4 took a long time to recover, and it never really recovered properly. But hopefully, they do a good job.
You mean Battlefield?
Yeah, Battlefield 4. I played that game
Yeah.
quite close to when it came out, and it was pretty awful.
I mean, me and you played the beta.
What about Hardline?
That
Was that any
alright.
good? I haven't played
It
it.
was okay. I got a little bit bored playing it, but it was okay. The cops and robbers scenario is quite cool. It's quite fresh compared to just the army, Chinese versus America, basically. But
But do you think that's kind of cut and paste from Payday? Because they've already gone there and done that. That is what Payday
no,
is all about.
Because Payday is it concentrates on you being the robbers, and there's no real complexity to the robbing. It's literally go in, drill in, get the money, escape, and that's it really. And the cops just have to try and kill you. Obviously, the cops have unlimited spawns, and they have to try and take away all of the robber spawns before the robbers can achieve their objective. But with Payday, you are the robbers, and
Yeah.
you are robbing, and if you get stopped by the police, you fail. However, in Hardline, there's actually players being the police, and it's literally just team deathmatch, apart from one side has unlimited spawns, and the other side has to actually do an objective. So it's like Battlefield, but Star Wars Battlefront 2
Yeah.
in the campaign. So the droids have unlimited spawns to try and stop you doing your objective, and if you run out of spawns, you lose.
But you've got limited amounts of spawns.
So that's basically what they're doing in Hardline with the heist kind of stuff. And I'm interested to see what they do with heists in GTA. Obviously, I haven't played it yet, but I'm assuming
Yeah,
it would just
as
be
soon
players
as
against
we
AI again.
Yeah, I mean they're 4-player missions, so they're going to be versus AI.
Yeah, most likely.
But yeah,
It'd be cool if they did do a
We're
cops
going-
versus robbers PvP in GTA heists. I don't know if they have done that. I haven't even looked
yeah,
at the articles they've released for it yet, but kind of waiting to have a hands-on go.
I mean,
I'm sure that'll be in the next podcast.
yeah. I mean, there was cops versus robbers in GTA 4, the original online,
Okay.
where the robbers had to get away, and then the cops had to stop them. The cops have unlimited respawns, but the robbers don't. So I think and it was quite a fun mode. It was just on the normal GTA 4 online, and it was quite fun to play. But they got rid of it in the DLC, and it's not in GTA yet.
Okay.
But that we may see a repeat of that in
Heist on GTA 5.
In Heist, yeah.
That sounds cool. Talking about PvP, another game that's coming out later this year, or it should be, is The Division from Tom Clancy. That looks super awesome.
Rest in peace, Tom Clancy.
Yeah, rest in peace.
He died. Anyway, obviously they're bringing out the Siege as well, which is a 4-on-4, I think, hostage situation kind of PvP, which does look really cool. But the Division definitely knocks it out of the park. Even just the gameplay trailers they've released. I think it's the Snowdrop engine or something like that they've created for the game. It looks pretty good, and obviously it's the PvE kind of experience where you go around in your little group or on your own in the city, and then you go into these dark zones, and then it becomes heavy PvP. But that's where all the best loot is, so that's where you kind of want to go. I don't know if it's going to be kind of mixed in.
I think we should move on to a new topic. Obviously, you have so much to say about video games. I haven't been in touch with video games myself for very long. I did buy a PS3 recently, and just bought so many games off eBay for such cheap prices. But yeah, I can't wait for the new releases. I heard Mortal Kombat 10 will be on PS3, and probably some various other games that I'll probably snap or cop. Snap? Cop. Yeah. But anyway,
on
movies.
to movies, yeah.
Should we do individually? What's a film that you're looking? I bet you both have the same answer, but what is your most anticipated? You should have said. You should have said other than Star Wars. Makes sense. Although I'm genuinely excited for that one.
So.
What do you think J.J. Abrams directed though?
I mean, how amazing is it to have under your belt? Yes, I did the Star Trek reboot and the new Star Wars films.
That's the thing, because I think it goes without saying that Trekkies and Star Wars fans, I'm not sure what the name is for Star Wars fans, but they've always had a feud with each other.
Well, yeah.
I think J.J. Abrams is bringing those together. I think the only problem is with Star Wars is that when you do a movie as a director, you carry on with the same vision and direction that you already did from the last movie to the next movie.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering, is it going to be too Star Trek-y?
Yeah.
Flary.
I think.
Well, I mean, in the trailer there was a lens flare. When the Millennium Falcon did its flips and stuff, it was like,
he was doing
flare.
that before Star Trek.
That's a funny thing, though.
That's true. I mean, have you seen Super 8?
He said that he wasn't a fan of Star Trek, and yet they turn out to be huge blockbuster.
I like that he's paying homage to the original movies, and actually most of the effects are actually practical effects.
But that's a good. It's a continuation.
Yeah, like the ball droid in the new movie was actually a physical prop, but it's not CG.
Yeah.
And obviously,
I think there's.
It wasn't an interview; it was sort of an announcement that he did, and one of the merchants from one of the scenes actually waddles past him, looks at him for a bit, and then he carries on talking. Now, obviously, there was the Millennium Falcon that they actually got. Was it the Millennium? No, it was an X-wing. And I think there was also the Millennium Falcon. They actually built models for it.
Have you noticed? I watched a video of some guy analyzing the trailer, and it turns out you can actually see that the dish on top of the Millennium Falcon was gone, because in episode 6 it was gone because Lando was like lost it.
But you would have.
It was gone. So they paid a lot of attention into detail.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, come on, you're gonna get fried when it comes to Star Wars. Well, and Star Trek.
Yeah. Like, he basically said, Han Solo said to Lando, "You better not put a scratch on it or whatever." And come on, do you expect that from someone that's in an intergalactic war?
Yeah.
And there's like lasers going everywhere
Well, yeah.
in various
in the
different
trailers,
directions.
obviously,
Come on,
I
dude.
felt that there were references to the original three, because those are the ones that everyone loves. But then I also got a strong feel of the prequels as well. So he's kind of appealing to both audiences, and he's making a new movie because it did feel fresh, especially with the X-wings
Yes.
coming in over the water.
The cinematography, by the way, I just have to mention the cinematography in the prequels was god awful. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of the interaction between different characters were like these. They were like these high-angle shots, and they zoomed in very slowly. I just thought they were awful. There was no dynamic in.
There was
Just
next
didn't
to no on-location stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to one of the locations that is featured in Star Wars Episode 2 for a couple of seconds.
The arena.
No,
You're in the middle of the arena.
you know, Padme and Anakin are landing in Naboo.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that massive building with the fountain in the middle, and they go
Mhm.
up the stairs, they go around. I was there. It's in Spain. No, yeah, it's in Spain. And what's quite
Right.
amazing is back a long time ago, Spain had this massive area where they invited other countries to come and build impressive houses that cost millions and millions of currency, just for fun. Like, the building that was used, the only reason that building was built was because they could build
Yeah.
it.
Right.
And it was one of the most surreal moments ever.
Cool. How old were you?
This was last year. No, this was year before last.
In Spain. That's cool. Yeah, going back to the Millennium Falcon,
All right.
on one of the trailers underneath, it zooms in, and there's an all too familiar tank of sorts that was on the bottom. I think you'll recognise as the Batmobile.
Yeah, basically Zack Snyder, he's the guy that's establishing the DC Cinematic Universe, and he basically did loads of nods to Star Trek. He basically posted like pictures on Twitter of these stormtroopers getting into these Gotham City police cars because they were like, I don't know what happened, but basically they were all.
How was that a nod to Star Trek?
Star Wars. Stormtroopers. That's why I said Stormtroopers.
You said, doesn't matter.
Oh, what did I
It says
say?
Star Trek.
You said Star
Sorry,
Trek.
Stormtroopers.
Well, be careful, you'll get fried alive.
So many people. And there was another picture of Henry Cavill, who plays Superman in Man of Steel and upcoming movies, of him in a Jedi robe, and it was and underneath it said hashtag Super Jedi. Yeah, so they've been going back and forth. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Any other films?
I don't know what else is coming out.
There's Jurassic Park. I mean Jurassic World.
That's a good part.
Good. Isn't that coming out this summer?
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Do you know the premise? Do you know the synopsis?
Yeah, they've created a new dinosaur. They've actually created
Oh my
one
god, that'd be
this
the
month.
last thing you
And
do.
Chris Pratt
Yeah.
is a raptor whisperer. And he
He is.
velociraptors.
There's a scene in the new trailer where he's trying to calm down these raptors that have just basically
Yeah.
surrounded
and then
him.
when he's on the motorcycle in one of the scenes.
Yeah.
His
And he's
team.
just like, they've basically have become part of this pack.
He's the
now.
raptor whisperer.
And these are we're talking about dinosaurs that are super intelligent, and it was already, we already knew about this from the previous films that,
They can
velociraptors
open
adapt.
doors.
Yeah, and the fact they can adapt to,
Little teams on the floor.
is that what it was? Yeah, but I look forward to it because I love dinosaurs.
it's
and that's the
great.
reason. But I've already seen images of the new dinosaur, hybrid dinosaur, and I've heard people talk about how it's a hybrid of, I forgot what they're called, but it was one of these creatures that would blend into their environment, and also the T-Rex,
Spinosaurus.
The Spinus
and a Velociraptor,
Spinosaurus
because they have
Ejectus.
long arms. The dinosaur had really long arms and big claws, so they got that from a Velociraptor, presumably. And there's also a scene in the trailer where this woman says, "Run!" and she's holding up a flare, and that's the part. She's basically in T-Rex Kingdom, so people have been making fan theories saying that she's luring the T-Rexes towards that dinosaur to fight it. So we're in for some big battles.
Of T-Rex from the original.
Oh my god, but that
And
was
it's
a
got to
huge
have a Jurassic
disappointment in
World
the
fan
third
going out
movie.
as it's all run.
Yeah, in the third movie, I don't know if you watched it, guys.
Oh
Third-
yes, I watched it.
Yeah, everyone was bitterly disappointed in
T-Rex
that
gets
film, especially the part with the Stegosaurus completely curb stomped the T-Rex. No,
Do you mean
oh my
the
god,
Spinosaurus?
the
Spinosaurus.
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 That's correct. I'm
I watched it the other week.
losing it. I'm losing it.
Uh,
It was cool. I like the
So it was
Spinosaurus.
cool.
I like how you say Velociraptors. They're very smart, intelligent beings, but in that film they mimic the voice box, which doesn't sound anything like the actual things,
They don't. Yeah, that's
That was
true.
cool.
and
He
they
gets, like,
trick
this
them,
bow.
and they trick them somehow.
Well,
Hyper intelligent,
Well,
those
I don't
squishy
know,
things
you know
over
the
there.
Velociraptors,
but they
it
sound
wouldn't have been
familiar.
something that they would have anticipated. So even if they were smart, I'm not surprised that tricked them. Really, I thought it was a cool little concept.
Yeah.
there's a kind of scientific flaw with the Jurassic Park franchise, and that is the Velociraptors are actually supposed to be the size of a chicken, and they're actually
Yeah,
feathered.
they did change the Velociraptors to
And
be
they're
badass in the
They're little
Jurassic
rascals,
movies,
basically.
but
Yeah,
I prefer them that
basically.
way anyway.
I believe.
They wouldn't
Yeah,
have-
I think there is a dinosaur
They wouldn't
that's
have been anywhere near
the
as fun if they
same.
were the size of chickens.
Look,
Apparently, they did have big claws though.
when plus they have the cool
The
name,
Velociraptor.
Velociraptor.
Yeah.
The Velociraptor. In my
I look forward to this film more than I like the previous ones because it's
Oh,
not,
yeah.
it's not just a dinosaur film, it's a disaster film
Yeah.
because it's like hundreds of thousands of people. This is a park that's fully operational.
Yeah,
That's-
just to add on to that.
Yeah.
The new trailer basically described something that sort of gave me an epiphany about why I love Jurassic Park, and that is the body count. How many people die in those films? That's what gets me going. There's a scene where Chris Pratt and this other guy is looking up, and obviously it's the dinosaur rising up or whatever, and they're being chased, and the one guy, obviously he dies, he just gets grabbed and just goes up, and goes, "Roar!" And obviously after that, he gets eaten, but you don't see it. You just see blood on the dinosaur's teeth. It's so
What's
cool.
funny about the
What?
third movie is, if you remember the scene where they suddenly hear the telephone going,
Alan!
and there's this massive
Yeah.
fence, and the Spinosaurus is behind them, and it smashes the absolute crap out of the fence, and they run through these wooden doors, do the locks up, and the Spinosaurus can barely even budge them. Either it was more,
Yeah.
either it
Yeah.
was more hurt by that fence than it was letting on, or they fucked up.
Yeah.
Didn't T-Rex do it in
I
the
guess there was
second
less
video?
area to smash, and it may have been harder just knocking it with its. But if it just charged into the building, it would have fucked it compared to that massive security fence that it just smashed like a twig.
Yeah, I don't think we realised the strength of what, the dinosaurs had.
Mm.
I don't think we realised, how strong they
Mm.
were. I don't know. Maybe it is a flaw, but,
Well,
it's-
it's a dinosaur movie.
there's room for speculation.
They no longer exists.
Well, there's,
Exist?
Like,
how many other dinosaur movies can
wasn't
you
there
name
the
apart
movie?
from
Wasn't there
Jurassic
Jurassic? Oh, well, I can only think of all the
Godzilla?
Sci-Fi Channel movie. No, Godzilla's a kaiju. I can think of, the Sci-Fi Channel,
Yes.
who are basically responsible for just showing fucking awful B-movie, independent films
Yeah.
that just never got to
This
the.
podcast sponsored by Sci-Fi.
It's not.
Don't go on the Sci-Fi Channel unless they do those movie marathons, which they are doing. They're doing a movie TV marathon for Leonard Nimoy in his honor. I think,
Yeah,
who died recently, which is
In
really
Star Trek
sad.
Online, they
Very
actually
sad.
put a statue up in the online game in tribute to all of the old cast members who have passed away, including Leonard Nimoy.
Yes,
Which is pretty cool.
yes. Well, Leonard Nimoy, by the way, for those of you old school gamers who used to play Civilization 4,
he did the voice for it.
he did the voice of the guy that would read the quotes of the tech every time he unlocked a technology. He would read this quote, and I generally thought it was one of the best voices we ever lost.
Yeah.
So far better than Morgan Freeman.
Listening to him say "Live long and prosper" in the new Star Trek films was you can't get better than that.
Yeah. Oh, what about his appearances on The Simpsons? His Simpsons cameo.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so funny. The one where he's in the X-Files parody episode. That
Was
was
that
fun.
with Mr. Burns?
Oh,
Yeah, the one where he's like, I am friendly.
yeah.
I
That's
bring you love.
that gives me nightmares.
Yeah, that one was
That
pretty-
gave
That was
me
a really
nightmares
weird
as a
episode.
kid.
freaky.
The X-Files theme tune still creeps me out to this day. It's just
Yeah.
so good. I actually wrote a comment on the video of the theme tune saying, imagine if there were green lights outside your window and this theme tune was playing. Just do-do-do-do.
Even if they
That's
weren't
when
pretty.
you start screaming in "Hide under the covers."
Yeah.
Make it go
That's when you suddenly
away!
start putting glasses of water around the house.
Yeah.
Oh, don't even mention that atrocity. Oh my god. Signs is not too bad. For a film that builds tension,
I really
it's not
enjoyed it.
bad.
They're allergic to water.
I freaked out a lot of the
Why would you
scenes,
invade
like
a
the
planet
leg.
that was made mostly of water. If you're highly allergic
Yeah,
to water.
exactly. I think that's the same with War of the Worlds, though. In the War of the Worlds novel, the aliens came down, and
It originally wasn't
the one
enough.
that the thing that killed them was the common cold,
Germs, yeah.
because they
Germs.
they don't know
But
all
That's
the
a- that's
viruses
a-
and substances that are on Earth because it's unknown
Yeah,
to
they
them.
weren't prepared for the,
They weren't aware of it.
they must have known. Yeah.
There is. I
They
suppose.
must have known.
I don't
They
know.
must have had diseases of their own.
But these
They
Well,
could
it
have
happened-
gone,
they would never have encountered human diseases, so they wouldn't have the immune system to actually resist.
Yeah, exactly. They might live on a planet that's mostly consists of hydrogen and no oxygen whatsoever, and
But they must have some form of disease on their planet, which then would suggest, oh, we've come in contact with an alien species. They must have some sort of disease. We've got to prepare for it.
aliens.
I mean, we
smart,
do that
yeah.
all the time.
An Independence Day. Why would you have a Windows?
Windows 95.
Yeah, why do aliens, these intergalactic aliens that have
USB.
mastered?
Not USB.
How have they mastered space travel and still have a computer that's so shitty that it manages to get a
Jeff
virus
Goldblum
from Jeff
gets to
Goldblum?
destroy
Oh
them.
yes, I just gave you a virus.
I was watching
So,
a talk
we're
the
gonna
other
leave
day,
now.
and
Bye.
he was actually on that show, and Jeremy Clarkson actually brought that up, and he was like, don't know. Yeah, he's like, yeah.
No, he
that's
said
a
it in this
question.
voice. He said it in this voice. I
Chaos.
don't know. I just don't know.
And then he just laughed.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. I think he's been announced to be in the Independence Day
Oh,
sequel.
is there really one?
They're making a sequel,
Is Will
Yeah.
Smith in it?
and it's got
Will Smith
Or
isn't
there
in it,
not much of it?
apparently.
he is, but his son that was in the movie, not his real life son, not James
It's the
Smith,
kid that was in the
the
film.
kid that was in the film. There's a guy playing the older version of that
Okay.
kid.
Oh.
And also the guy from the Hunger Games, I believe his name's Liam Hemsworth.
Talking about
He's in the film.
reboots,
What, the guy?
Terminator Genesis. Matt Smith is
Yes.
in that movie. He's a side character, but he's in that movie. Doctor Who is in Terminator.
He's just
but yeah,
that film.
he plays John Connor's mate, but there's next to nothing of the future. Everything you've seen so far is, oh, they've travelled back in time. Oh, look, it's wait a second,
It
what?
starts off like the first movie, and he's like getting chased through, and then suddenly Sarah Connor comes crashing through the wall in a truck, and says, "Come with
Come
me
if
you want to live."
live.
And he goes with her.
And then it kind of turns into the second
Yeah, so
film.
they're remaking the first one, but they've made certain changes where the Terminator is already with Sarah Connor instead of trying to kill her, I think. And she calls it, I can't remember, there's a nickname for it, but it's literally Old Arnie. And it's the Terminator from the first movie. However, they've reprogrammed it, and it's actually protecting her instead of trying to kill her, so it completely switches it around.
Alternatively, John Connor actually thought with a brain cell later on and went, well, why don't I just send the Terminator back to protect my mum when the first Terminator comes around? Which I think this is what happens here.
My favourite part in that trailer was cheesy at first because he said, "I'll be back," and he jumped out the helicopter.
That was my least favourite.
He dive bombed into another helicopter. And
that was my least favourite.
It was
by far
because
my
the
least
start of it,
favourite.
it was like, oh, why would you bring back a quote just for the sake of, the fans want this? Or,
Whenever he
just-
says "I'll be back," he always dies.
Right,
That's
exactly.
okay.
And then
Slight
he just jumps
contradiction there.
out and destroys an entire helicopter.
Fucking headbutts that shit.
That was
I'll be
so
back.
cool.
What?
Though.
Dead.
Oh, did they explain why he ages?
Yes.
Because Arnold
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger's old.
Yes, they did. Because
Was it?
because of the
What is it?
the synthetic flesh that is put on a Terminator. It was made so that it would age like human skin, however, it would age more slowly.
That is a dumb idea.
So the skin,
Yeah,
the
that
skin
just doesn't
was
work.
made specifically to be just like skin, so it does age. It just ages more slowly.
I think
It's not dumb, it's clever, so that
so
Arnie
Arnold
can be in
Schwarzenegger be
it.
an old fart and still be a Terminator.
Wow. that would be in the far future, though, if they managed to actually, if they're capable
Yeah, I
of
haven't
doing
really
that.
read too much into how it works with him being
That's
old, but
insane.
obviously you can't really avoid Arnold Schwarzenegger being old now. So,
Not at all, no.
So
No,
they
not
kind of had to
at
write
all.
in, and
Yeah.
apparently it still makes sense that, and he can still pull off
I-
being old in the movie.
I can understand it.
Yeah. But they did it in Sam
I mean,
Fisher,
'cause
they did
they-
a good job of doing the fake Arnie, because he actually looked like the old one, the young one.
Yeah, that was really good. That was very cool.
Oh,
Well,
it was better than the Terminator Salvation version. Oh my
So,
god. The worst bit of
thought it
CGI
was
I've
pretty
ever
good.
seen.
that was really good. The worst I've ever seen has got to be
It was probably because
Tron
the
Legacy.
It was probably
I
because
like
the
Tron Legacy.
movie was so dull.
I did as well, but I mean, looking at what was it? Is it Jeff Goldblum? No,
Oh.
no. Who am I thinking of?
What movie are you talking about?
Tron Legacy. Who?
Tron. Oh, that's Jeff Bridges, I
That's
believe.
it.
He was in
When-
the original and the
Yeah,
new
they CGI'd him to
shitty.
look like what he looked like in the original, and then had him as
Yeah.
he looks now.
Which it looked off. I really didn't understand. He looks a little off. He looks real but not
It's like,
real.
Beowulf. They look real but not real.
Mm.
You could still,
Mm.
you could
Uncanny
you could
Valley.
Still pause it another cheeky one to Angelina Jolie and Beowulf, because it was real enough. Anyway,
I fantasize that. I
Back to-
fantasize about that scene. Sorry. Anyway, moving on to another movie. Let's see. Just trying.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't know. Maybe the Avengers film.
Avengers: Age of Ultron. I could go off forever. Oh my god.
Well,
Let's see. I'll begin with saying the trailers so far have not shown too much.
no.
It is a step in a different direction from the original, the first film, which was slightly more childish and friendly to all the younger audiences. But I think the scene that's going to make me cream the most is the Hulkbuster and Hulk fight scene,
Yeah.
which looks like it's going to blow everything out of proportion. And also an introduction of a new character. Well, not a new character. He's been around for a while. Is the Vision. Ah, so cool.
Really,
I love the Vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Well,
in the comics,
I know a little bit about the Vision. May I
Update me.
try?
you can try, but
The Vision was created by Ultron
Mhm.
to destroy the Avengers, but
he turned
he
good.
turns good. Yeah.
Yes.
Did I get it
but
right?
Also, yeah, you did. Well done.
Yeah.
Claps,
Golden
clap.
Star. Hooray.
But also, something that he didn't establish into the MCU, which I kind of understand, is that Ant-Man doesn't play a part in the Avengers because he was the guy that originally invented or created Ultron. But he's getting his own solo movie, and hopefully his appearance will be on not Civil War, but possibly what's the third? Infinity War. Because Infinity War is just an event where all the superheroes band together to fight Thanos. But we've seen a couple of times in different movies, like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Enter Guardians.
What else was he in? Oh, he was in the mid-credit scene of the first Avengers. And from that time, that time period, from 2012, when the first Avengers came out, and Guardians of the Galaxy, and then, Infinity War, he's still doing shit. He's doing fuck all. And his mission is to get all the Infinity Gems. And I do believe in the trailer, the Vision has the Soul Gem, but he doesn't have the Soul Gem in the comics on his head, because he has this little yellow orb in the middle of his head. I can't remember what it was in the comics, but in the cinematic universe, it seems like that is going to be one of the Infinity Gems, and basically Thanos is going to get his hands on it.
Okay.
But should be fun. And Spider-Man is also good news about Spider-Man.
There's going to be a reboot, isn't there?
Yes, technically speaking, but also Sony have decided to share the rights. Well, basically, we like to call it they've given the rights back, because we don't care about what Sony are going to do with Spider-Man in the future.
Yeah.
But
Talking about Sony, their
and
gaming division, Sony Online Entertainment, has now parted ways with Sony and has actually formed a separate studio that I can't remember the name of now. But,
I think it's because of the Sony hacks.
No, right? No, it's because of H1Z1.
What I don't
okay.
Maybe.
I think
it's also just because they were limited because they were working alongside Sony. So now we're actually going to be seeing formerly known as Sony Online Entertainment making games for the Xbox platform as well. So they've got lots more of creative freedom now, and I think they've just got more freedom to make the games they want to make instead of the games they need to make, try and make money. They're sort of getting away from Sony so they don't be pressured into making shit games.
But that's also the same with movies. They haven't made any decent movies.
I'm still looking forward to the Ratchet and Clank film, which should be coming out this year. Well,
it's coming out this year, isn't it?
It's coming out this year, yeah, June.
But nothing else has come out of it except that one trailer.
I haven't played Ratchet and Clank.
I've got all three, and I've got.
Oh my god! I had a huge argument with Bradley about why Jak and Daxter would make an even better movie than Ratchet and Clank.
No,
because I grew up with the Jak and Daxter games, especially the Precursor Legacy game. Oh my god, that was one of the best childhood games I've ever played.
No.
Definitely.
But no.
Definitely the best. No, yeah, definitely the best. But all the other sequels are just rubbish, especially the racing game one. It's funny how all game franchises about cartoony protagonists all have like a racing game. Like Crash Bandicoot had one. Who else? Mario obviously has one, and Sonic at one point had one.
That was
Did you know in the Sonic one, they have Wreck-It Ralph as one of the characters, as well as the Team Fortress. So a couple of the Team Fortress characters are also in it.
That
And I
seems a bit
thought,
odd.
what? There's no relation to Sonic. And why is Sonic in the car? He's supposed to be like
Super
faster than
Sonic.
the car.
making a
Like
they're
he would
making
handle that on his own.
Making a Legend of Zelda series, I think. Yeah. that'd be
On
sweet.
Netflix, yeah. Well, there's loads of Netflix series that have been
I wonder if
greenlit.
they're actually going to be making a completely new Link, or if they're going to be following him as the hero of time in the Ocarina of Time, or if they're going to be following the original, or if they're going to be following.
Well, that's the thing, though. Think about it. It's a TV budget. How are they going to?
And this Nintendo.
How's that going to transfer into TV if the Legend of Zelda mythos is very much heavily based on
Fuck all.
big fantasy, outlandish,
Yeah,
you know,
it's just.
CGI.
Yeah,
I imagine
it's
there's going to be a lot of
just-
CGI.
There's so many
basically.
different versions of Zelda now. There's
Like
Ganon's
Ganon.
a pretty common appearance in all
Like,
of them.
how
It's
are they
just
going to do that?
which game, and if they're going to follow a specific game, or if they're going to follow their own storyline, if they're going to completely make something new. Like, are they going to go Ocarina of Time, Link to the Past?
Yeah, it's probably
original,
going to
Majora's
be.
Mask. Who even knows?
Yeah, it's probably going to be their own version or their own story or their own take on it. They've done that with TV shows and movies as well. For instance, Gotham, which is a show that's currently on, which is what would you call it? A prequel to what happens, what we all know and love as Batman. Basically, all the villains are
Okay.
little kids.
No,
Yeah, have you not seen it? Well, basically, it's just like years and years and years before Bruce Wayne becomes Batman. He's a little kid, and it's after he witnesses his parents' death, and the story follows Commissioner Gordon from when he was
I think I s-
first
yeah, I saw
first
an
on
ad
the
for
scene.
it, and it was Commissioner
Detective.
Gordon. And he's like, and it sort of
Yeah.
goes around him, instead of actually.
But it's the same with movies as well, because they're doing a Skull
Skull
Island
Island.
movie, which is an origin story of the island that we're all familiar with King Kong, but they're all
Yeah.
they're basing it on the island itself.
What, before King Kong? Or
Maybe it'll be about how King Kong
how
actually
King
came
Kong
to be.
became King Kong.
But I think if you played the King Kong official game based off the reboot movie, yeah, that had the longest video game
all the way through.
of all time. I'm not even bother trying to read it out. But yeah, that game made you fall in love with that environment and that world of like Skull
when you
Island.
first come across the V-Rex, and
It's
you,
like
Tommy
so-
Gun, and you have to run away from the V-Rex on the
Exactly.
PS2. That was the greatest moment in game.
Oh my god,
Not
Oh,
really, but
so
it
cool.
was cool.
No, when you play
When you-
Con,
Yeah, when
You play
as
Con as well as
fighting
the
V-Rex, that
main
was
guy?
pretty sweet.
yeah, you like grab them and throw them all over the place. That was fun.
May the 1st, Avengers, Age of Ultron.
That comes. We get it a week early in the
Oh,
UK.
really? We get
Yeah,
it
we
in
do. Yeah, and right now I think it's who is it? Is it View Cinema? They're doing an Avengers marathon where they're playing all the movies in the MCU before the film
We get
Age
it.
of Ultron. It's 27 hours.
Yeah, I'll quite happily do that.
I mean,
I'm not going to do
we
that.
made it about
Oh, come on.
30
No.
minutes into the Hobbit marathon that we went to.
I would sleep. I would sleep through the Incredible Hulk because that's
Yeah.
because it's the Edward Norton and it's not Mark Ruffalo, so it seems kind of out of place.
Yeah, I'd
Because
watch the end bit.
yeah, and then there's also Iron Man 3 and Iron Man 2.
I like those. Oh, cool. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Some people say Iron Man
Talking
3 is
about
better
Iron
than
Man,
others.
Robert
I don't know.
Downey Jr. He's done this competition where he's going to get one fan and he's going to take them to the premiere of Age of Ultron, and they're going to spend the day living like Tony Stark, and he's going to take them around the city, and they're going to go in.
And give
Yeah,
him an
he's
Iron Man
actually-
suit.
He's actually going to be giving away a signed Iron Man suit to someone. That'd be great.
No.
That's
No.
fucking
That is
cool.
not.
It is
No,
real.
that's not
He's
real.
signing an Iron Man
That's a
suit.
lie. They're gonna actually give him an
Not
Iron
the
Man
person
suit.
he's taking on the tour, but there is a competition to win an Iron Man suit signed by Robert Downey Jr.
No.
Not
A fully
not
functional Iron Man suit.
I don't even know if it's one you can wear.
Oh, what? Oh, which would you prefer
On the
though?
day of
Which
Robert
would you
Downey Jr.
prefer?
On the day of the premiere, or would you get the Iron Man suit signed by him?
Oh,
It's the
I-
Iron Man suit, dude.
Then
Can you
how-
get in
But
it?
then
wait,
if
you,
you
it
had the
wouldn't be
money, you
fit
could
for
just
you,
buy
would it?
that.
It'd be fit for
you,
him.
He's quite a small guy, isn't he?
I don't know.
I could fit in there.
I'm not sure.
Fit everything in there.
I don't know if I want
If
to be
you know what I
inside
mean.
Robert Downey Jr. I wouldn't mind spending the day with him though.
Yeah, I think I'd choose
Yeah.
to spend a day with him. 'Cause he's gonna buy you lunch, you're gonna talk, he's gonna drive you places, you're gonna watch the
Yeah.
film before anybody else. You're gonna have a good time. Whereas the suit, you're gonna have a massive suit with his signature
Yeah,
that
I
you're
don't
never
know
gonna be
if-
able to wear,
I don't know if
and it's
a
gonna get
competition-
nicked.
It's
Yeah, I
gonna
don't know
get
if it's a
nicked.
competition for the general public, or if it was for this children's
Most
hospital
likely.
thing that he's actually sponsoring. Him and the guy who plays Captain America.
Star-Lord?
Yeah,
Star-Lord's
Star
going with
Wars,
him as
yeah,
well.
Chris Pratt.
That,
They all
that
went
is
to these children's
true.
hospitals and had
That's
competitions with each other, and it was it was all
Yeah.
really lovely. Lovely.
Oh, I have to mention, I think I share this with so many comic book people that I'm so glad that Guardians of the Galaxy has become, all the characters in it have become pop
Yeah.
culture icons.
Yeah,
And this is from a comic book that was relatively unknown to everyone.
very obscure.
And
It
now-
was just a test to see. Alright,
It
we're
worked.
Marvel, and it worked. It worked.
And we're
really
going to have a
fucking well.
talking raccoon and a talking tree work together
we're gonna
and
get Vin
kick
Diesel
ass.
to play the tree.
But yeah, and DC are just like, oh, we can't do a Wonder Woman movie. It's not the right time, and it just seems really unrealistic. Oh, here's a talking
And the guy
tree
who
and a
plays the
talking raccoon.
he's actually, I can't remember the name of the actor. He's the guy from The Hangover series. Yeah, Bradley
Oh, that's
Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
He's actually the raccoon, and it's really quite cool. Yeah. And
He
obviously,
is.
there's obviously with David Bautista
Apparent.
from obviously the WWE.
WWE.
Yeah, it's pretty cool having him and Vin Diesel in the same movie, even though Vin Diesel was a tree.
Mm.
Apparently, Ant-Man is being released in July the 17th.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
When's the Black Panther movie?
it
coming out?
is, but I don't have high hopes. I have high hopes for that movie.
When's the Black Panther movie coming out? I'm not sure when that's been out.
Black Panther movie was pushed back to 2018. It was 2017 because Marvel made a deal with Sony to have Spider-Man in the universe. They put Spider-Man before Black Panther and Captain Marvel and all the other films that were, scheduled to be released. And it's quite disappointing because I wouldn't mind. I don't want to see a retelling of a character I'm already familiar with. Black Panther is something I'm interested in.
Oh shit!
Also Captain Marvel. Oh, and then the Inhumans.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
Fantastic
I'm
Four.
rebooting it.
Reboot, August the 7th.
Have you seen the trailer?
It's much darker than the other one.
Oh, it certainly is.
I will watch it. And apparently Mad Max is getting a
Yeah,
reboot as well.
That trailer's
Mad
been
Max,
out for a while now.
My dad is a huge fan
I've
of
seen
the
the
Mad
first
Max
one. I've seen
films,
the first
and I don't know
one.
why.
It was long and it was boring.
There's a Hitman Agent 47
Yes,
film
there is.
coming out as
So
well.
That's quite exciting. I can't remember who's playing him though.
There's Robert Friend, Zachary Quinto, Hannah Ware, the
He's the guy that plays Spock, Zachary Quinto, in the
Yeah.
Star Trek films.
Thomas Kretschmann.
This is IMDb, just reading off names.
I'll just copy and paste it to you.
Alright, so a movie I'm looking forward to is Batman v Superman. Oh god,
Yeah.
I had to get it off my chest. That was just
It's going
waiting
to
to
be-
be released.
An event. It may be shite or it may be absolutely
Wow.
amazing. I don't know if.
Casting decisions are
Obviously-
very
obviously they're just
obscure,
having the
but
guy
I
who's played
again have
Superman
high hopes.
In one, was it Man of Steel when he was actually in one of the scenes he actually morphs into the old Superman for a second.
morphs.
Really?
In one of the scenes in one of
Well,
the
in the-
newer Superman films, he's like zapping up through this thing. I can't remember what he was doing. I haven't seen the movies.
Oh, you mean the
Something
world
like that.
engine
He's
thing,
pa-
where all this gravity
Yeah,
is
and he's
just
actually
pushing down
battling
on him, and
against it
he's
and he's
trying to
winning. And for a
fly up
second, he
to
actually
destroy.
morphs into the guy who used to play Superman that he looks quite similar to. The guy who fell off
Christopher
his horse
Reeves.
or whatever, and he was
Who?
wheelchair bound.
Brad. I don't know.
But yeah,
I don't know.
he morphs into him for just a second, and
Yeah.
then he turns back. They sort of CG'd him in as a little tribute. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's sweet. Because it was a good scene, because it had the music that sort of was quite fitting. It was like very triumphant and like,
Yeah. When I
oh,
saw that
Oh,
moment,
wow.
I could
Destroy
almost
this
see
pixel
Angry
machine,
Joe
just destroy
just
the world.
jizzing slightly.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a huge fan. Back to the Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Have you seen the images of each Justice League member that's
No.
been,
No,
released?
I want
There's Aquaman. You saw the
I saw
Aquaman picture, right?
Khal Drogo from
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
He
Jason.
looks completely different to what everyone
Right,
else is.
Okay, that's the first reaction that non-comic book fans would say. But in the 90s, where comic book companies were just making these money-making ideas
Just
because,
screwing them
for
up
the sake of money. Yeah, and the Aquaman of that era was very similar to this one, where he has the shoulder plate armor and he has the hook hand, but obviously he doesn't have a hook hand in the picture. He has the long hair, the beard. What else? That's pretty much it. And the fact that he's quite big and buff compared to the other Aquaman incarnations. But there are slight nods to the traditional Aquaman with the scale armor.
Yeah.
There's also the A. I don't know if you noticed the A. The A on his belt, which stands for Atlantis, but people interpret it as Aquaman. I just hope they get a full picture of him.
I just want to see Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter is not in the team. They're going with the new 52 team, where Cyborg has replaced Martian. No, I love Cyborg. Yeah, no, it's because he's too similar.
Well,
Like they want diversity. They want a guy that's
They're Teen Titans.
very
They
they want
what
they
about
want a Cyborg.
Shazam?
Shazam is that's being made. That's a movie coming out.
Yeah,
And
but
Black Adam's going to be played by The Rock,
wow.
Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, I love Shazam. I think that will be a film that
But-
kids are going to love. Kids are going to love that film
But
because it's
Shazam
about a
is
boy.
just-
It's about a boy who. It's a really weird origin story.
It's good
He-
for our
He gets
childhood.
transported
He gets
to this
transported by
place
an old
by an old
man.
guy, and he
With
says,
a-
"I'm going to grant you all these powers of the gods," because Shazam is an acronym for different gods like Solomon and Hercules, and he gives them all the powers, and becomes Captain Marvel. But they didn't have the rights to Captain Marvel, so they changed it to Shazam. I think it was recently that happened because Marvel already had a character with the same name. But yeah, he's cool. Every time he says Shazam, this bolt of lightning just hits him and he becomes this like adult superhero.
What's your name?
Shazam!
Shazam! And the villain is
I am Shazam! Oh shit.
so like, oh no, not whilst I'm flying, Yeah, but he says Shazam again, so it doesn't matter. The villain is Black Adam, and he was like
He was
5,000-year-old man. No, but if Black Adam says Shazam, he'll just crumble into dust because he's a 5,000-year-old man. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Shazam the Wizard gave him those same powers, but it was a mistake because he used them for like
Instead,
evil.
yeah.
So he banished him to like the far reaches of the
Of
universe, and he
space.
came back and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take down his new champion." And they have a fight. That's gonna be the premise of the movie, basically, because that's what happens, with Shazam and Black Adam.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's good. Who else is cast in Justice League? There's Ezra Miller, who's playing the Flash. I'm quite disappointed because the Flash from the TV show is already up and running.
They're going to change the actor.
It's successful. So they're not connected. They're not doing what Marvel are doing, where they're connecting the TV and the movie universes together.
Yeah, but the movie universe came before the TV universe.
True, but they're not doing what Marvel are doing.
No one can do what Marvel
DC
does, because
trying.
Marvel are now at a point where they could just... Yeah, they're trying, but too
not
late.
really.
Yeah.
Well, Marvel are at a point where they can make out any fucking film and it's going to make shit tons. It's going to be a
Then
box office hit.
After the
What do you
success
mean?
of all
What?
the Marvel movies, then DC can swoop in and just make their own fucking cash off of it.
That's going to be a good time, my friends. That is
Yeah, that's true, but it's going to be panned by everybody because of Marvel. Marvel, I mean, look,
No, that's
nobody
not
knew
true.
what...
Maybe, but I don't think
That's
it'll
not
be
true.
as bad as you're saying it will.
DC were responsible for creating two of the first superheroes ever, Batman and Superman. Batman came out in 1939, and was it 39? I can't remember. But Superman, and then there was Batman, and all the rest came from DC. But DC started the trend of superhero movies and the genre itself.
Yeah,
with
DC
Christopher
started
Yeah,
it.
with
Yeah.
the success of the Marvel movies, obviously they're going to get flat for just sort of jumping on the bandwagon. But to
No,
be honest, I think it's going to get a really good
I
reaction
liked-
if they can pull this off and actually make a decent couple of movies and actually do justice to these characters in the Justice League. Then I think it'll be really great, and then obviously it'll be in competition with the Marvel movies, and they'll start having to bring out the best content they can, and then obviously there's going to be a possible crossover between the X-Men, Guardians of the Galaxy, and the Avengers.
no, that's not.
Eventually it might.
That's not going to happen because X-Men and Fantastic Four are owned by Fox.
But Fantastic Four are being rebooted and their time is running out.
Also, I think in one of the I can't remember which X-Men movie it was, but I think there was a slight reference in there that they could eventually link the X-Men into the Marvel storyline with the Avengers and things. Obviously, it might not happen, but
No, because they have a deal. I know what you mean. Okay, let me just give background information for all the listeners. Marvel, back in the day,
All two of you.
Marvel Studios. Hi guys, how are you doing? How's it going?
It's Bob and Jeff.
Marvel Studios were broke at the time, and they had to sell off the characters, the cinematic versions of the characters, to Fox and Sony.
And 20th Century Film.
No, 20th Century Fox.
That is
That's
Fox.
Fox. So yeah, that's the worry. That's the one problem that Marvel have, is that these characters are all separated. But with DC and Warner Brothers, they have all the rights to the characters. All the rights. The universe is already set up for them.
That's true, but do you see the Christopher Nolan Batman fighting?
No, that's his own thing. That's his own thing.
Yeah.
Those films were
it's-
realistic take on Batman. It's not
Yeah.
comic book accurate Batman. Ben Affleck,
They
I've seen
were
the
better.
pictures of Ben Affleck as Batman, and that is the comic book accurate Batman. That Batman is similar to the Batman from Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. If you don't know what that comic book is, for all the non-comic book fans, that is one of the most revolutionary books ever, although he's terrible at writing Superman. But that was the fight, where the famous fight between Superman and Batman, where he had the armored suit, and at the very end he gives us this long quote, and at the end of the quote he says, he did actually, he faked his death, he basically he pretended he had a heart attack, and then tricked Superman into something, I can't remember.
He was the first person to ever beat him that's not got superpowers.
No, but Dark Knight Returns isn't actually canon, it's an Elseworld story.
Yeah.
But basically, he says to him, in all your years to come, Clark, just remember the one man who beat you. And that quote was read out by the General in Man of Steel, and it was at Comic-Con, and he said it, and everyone knew that Batman was going to be in the Man of Steel sequel, but it wasn't a Man of Steel sequel. It's a prequel to the Justice League movie, hence why it's called Dawn of Justice. Batman v Superman.
Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. Oh, is it just Batman and Superman? No,
Dawn of Justice.
Shit tons.
Yeah, people think, oh no, so it's Wonder Woman and Aquaman. It's a prequel to the setting up of the universe.
Yeah.
Of the DC Cinematic Universe, and I can't wait. 2016, it's gonna be a year. That's a year where Captain America and Iron Man are gonna be facing off, and Batman and Superman are gonna be facing off.
Mm. The problem is, they are. I mean, you've got to admit they're going to be trading in their own dust with the Batman's franchise, and they're going to be trading in their own dust because of Marvel.
Mm.
But with Marvel, either way, it's going to be a double thumbs up for us because we're just getting
we're just sitting back, eating popcorn,
watching all these films.
Yeah, I like it. That's what I like about film studios.
We can argue about it, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we get to watch them.
Exactly. The fact that studios fight and trying to, be a step further than the other.
We want them fighting their press.
Is them improving, their brand.
Yeah.
And trying to make it as good as possible. Keep spewing out the Stanley cameos. And keep, sticking to the comic books.
Yeah.
And I love that Superman, this Superman in the DCU, his S symbol is not, it doesn't stand for Superman anymore. It
stands for hope.
It's a Kryptonian family crest for Kal-El, or the L family, or whatever.
I thought it meant hope.
It does. It also means hope, but it's the family crest of the L family, like Kal-El and Jor-El.
Yeah.
And Zod had that in the movie. Zod had his own crest, which is
Anyway, we've been chatting about comic books and comic
the super AA batteries.
Half an hour now.
Yeah. So to everyone out there, please, if you're not into graphic novels and you feel like you have some interest in them, please get the Dark Knight Returns.
555.
Call me at this number and I'll recommend you the best comic books ever. Dark Knight Returns is a must-buy.
We have been sponsored today.
What's your Twitter?
I do. It's just Ollie Child. It's quite standard. It's not like...
Follow at Ollie Child.
You recommend comic books and novels and shit. There you go.
You will. I will. I genuinely will. Because they're awesome. It's a really underappreciated medium.
Apart from like the millions upon
millions.
That's me protesting. I'm sounding like
I
sound like an evangelical Christian, just like trying to get people on my side. Like, come on, read comic books.
I'll read comic books.
Comic book addiction.
Oh yeah, I bought Brad for his birthday last year. Batman comic. It was Arkham Asylum. Yeah.
I'm still reading it.
It's a really trippy book.
It really is.
The art is...
It's very...
How would you describe it? It's just... weird and...
who is it? Like
it's
Sean
not like...
painted it.
Yeah. It's quite a short book.
It's like Tim Burton had sex with colour.
Yeah. Yeah. Say it to... Or, describe it to the general public what it is.
Well, Tim Burton is more for darker tones and colours. This has got a dark tone with a little bit of colour.
Mm.
It's Tim Burton's jizz. It's jizz.
Jack.
It's like jizz stain.
Yes.
Hey Jack.
Tim Burton though.
Have you read any comics?
Really, I read a Judge Dredd comic when I was a kid.
That's what everyone says. My mum said that her first comic she ever read was Judge Dredd, or like the 2000 AD sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that what's called? 2009?
Yeah, it was
I
pretty
did get
much
that right.
just-
Hopefully I did.
I've read a Judge Dredd comic book once, and every now and again I'll sleep into a comic if I'm in a place where there are comic books, but I've never really actually bought or read through properly a comic. Sadly.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll let you
that's
borrow
cool.
some. Absolutely.
what
I don't
have
really know
you
where to
got?
start, but
Civil War.
I do have Civil War.
May I borrow it?
You can. It's awesome. I have to mention, if Spider-Man is in Civil War, because he
Hooray.
plays a pivotal role in the Civil War graphic novel.
Yeah, he does.
He plays quite a big role
A very large role.
because
at the expo I went to yesterday,
yeah.
just outside the entrance, just to the right of the door as you're coming out, there was this little bakery place, and they had like these really big sausage rolls. And just, you're talking about pivotal rolls, and this sausage roll was like the size of my forearm, and it was great. Sorry. Yeah, I
Did you eat
fucking thing.
it? Take a bite.
I finished that.
Sneaky bite.
Motherfucker by the time the other guys who were with me even bought their stuff.
Oh, because the way
Deep throat.
you said it to me, I thought you were talking about this giant sausage roll, the
It
biggest
was
you've
a- it
ever
was a big
seen.
sausage
It
roll.
was
It was
like,
about the length of my forearm.
It was a
It was a porker.
porker.
And I ate the entire thing. Anyway,
This
Um,
podcast has been brought to you by Command and Conquer, the Ultimate Edition. Download your copy now and get a free version of the VR Pornhub
oh,
experience
oh,
now
he's completely
for
nuts.
free. I am.
right, guys. So we've talked an
It's
incredible
been about an hour and a half.
amount of films. Yeah, that is a lot of talking, a lot of words, a lot of speech. But do you have any closing speeches about other films, or you want to move on to another topic?
Don't do
No,
drugs,
don't.
kids.
Apart from prescriptions.
That's a little that's a PSA in between.
This is when we
podcasts.
cut. This is when we cut to music.
Take Jimmy
and
for
short
example.
Break to go and have a piss.
The
The
Martian.
Martian?
The Martian.
Is that an upcoming film? Or?
That's a film this year. 20th Century Fox Sci-Fi. It's a Ridley Scott film.
They're
He did a
It's got,
film.
it's got
reminds me.
Matt Damon,
They're
Jessica Christian.
yeah.
Kristen
That reminds me.
Wiig.
They're actually rebooting the Alien series.
No,
Not
they're
rebooting,
not.
they're
They're not.
reviving it.
Yeah. You guys have seen
Yeah.
District 9.
Is that the fucking
No.
clone?
Oh my
Maybe.
fucking prawn. I love the South African accent. But anyway, the director, I really love the director. He did Chappie.
I
I don't know
know.
if you've seen that. Came out this year.
Yeah.
About an AI
I
robot
went to
who has
London
his own
yesterday and it's
consciousness.
plastered
The
everywhere
guy-
outside the buses. Along with Game of Thrones. The Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
box
it's a good
set,
film. I
there's
recommend
so
it.
many adverts in London right now. You can literally not go anywhere and not see a Game of Thrones poster.
Right. Yeah, well, it's coming out this April.
Mhm.
Winter's coming. I love the series. But Neil Blomkamp, the director, he did Elysium, and that was like his Hollywood
He was supposed
take.
He was supposed to direct the Halo film.
Yeah, that's what actually turned out to be District 9.
Yeah, everybody.
Peter Jackson said that in a panel. He said it was, but the District 9 idea was just, it was, pulling the movie executives to actually do it. It's a great film. I recommend it. Neil Blomkamp is directing the next Alien film in the Alien franchise, which disregards Alien 3
I
and
don't know
Alien
about-
Resurrection.
Yeah, I'm not,
And it only
I'm
concentrates.
not sure about
and
3,
it
but definitely 4.
Right, but it only concentrates. It's a trilogy. He wants to focus on
Yeah.
the first Alien film, Aliens, and then his film. That's the set.
He wants
That is
to
the box
squeeze
set,
his
yeah.
way in between things and go, I'm the real 3.
Yeah, but it'll be the first time where he doesn't do a film in his
Yeah,
in South
I
Africa.
can't remember where,
There's
but
a lot-
I think there was,
all
there was
his
rumour that they were
films.
saying they might be able to squeeze it in so that the third film or the fourth film can still happen. And it turns out the third
Yeah,
and fourth
but
films were actually a fever dream. that Ripley had, and it's actually not what
Right.
happened. So it is discounting it, but it's
That's
not
funny.
completely making them non-canon, because they could be sort of a stasis dream because she was in stasis for an extended amount of time. So it might have been.
That's
a
what's that
coma.
called? What's that process called? They mentioned it in the Interstellar. What's it called? Cryogenic?
Yeah, she was in cryogenic
sleep?
sleep for
I don't know.
ages, and
Something like that.
Doesn't
it could have just been a fever dream.
if
and,
doesn't 3 crashes, everybody dies but her.
yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
So Sigourney Weaver has expressed
Yeah.
interest for that movie.
Even though she's going to be old as shit.
She's
getting
60,
old. She's
probably.
They definitely need to use
She's
her
getting
now.
on.
Getting old.
She's getting on. She's getting into the Arnold Schwarzenegger years now.
No,
She's not that same action hero.
Chuck
she
Norris
was.
was actually born in 1940.
I love Alien, by the way.
Chuck Norris.
Who?
He's 73 or 4.
Oh, he
was
looks
born
young
in,
for his age.
1940 something. Very old.
Talking of Arnold Schwarzenegger, his son is going to be in a film called Scouts vs Zombies
Scouts
this year.
versus Zombies.
Patrick Schwarzenegger. Scouts vs Zombies.
This reminds me of that
It's a
film
horror
we watched.
comedy.
Brad, remember that film we watched, Cockneys versus
Cockneys
Zombies?
versus
Zombies.
Oh, that was funny.
Didn't that
That
have
was
the
great.
guy from whatever it's called, Snatch, the old guy from that. He's like
Yeah.
he's an old cunt,
Yeah.
and he's just a dick in this movie as well.
He's the granddad. He's brilliant in it. It's a
love-
great film.
I love
Definitely
the black
worth a
guy.
watch.
I love that guy. He dies early on.
Yeah.
And he was like my favourite character, and he dies straight away as I said that. And then there's that one quote he said in front of that zombie. He was like, "Come on then, you muppet!" And he just shoots it. It's so fun.
Right,
It's like typical. It's very typical, archetypal sort of film where it's just Cockneys, as it says in the titles. Versus zombies.
Well, versus zombies.
I don't recommend it. Don't watch it.
I recommend it. It was a great film.
There are parts in it that are quite good. Yeah, like I know I said this before, but should we move on to a new topic, or should we carry on with the movies?
Well, I can't really.
Or should we just
I think it's
go with the
getting-
flow?
Movies that I really feel that I want to talk about at the moment. I can really think of.
They're redoing Point Blank, Point Break
yeah.
even.
Never seen it.
No, me neither.
seen it.
Just thought-
Ridley Scott is doing a sequel
Yeah.
to Blade Runner. Have you seen
I
that?
haven't
Wow.
seen the first
Yeah.
one, but I know it was,
Yeah.
it was good.
You're right. You don't have to watch it. It's not like one of those films where I'm saying, "Oh my God, watch
It
this."
reminds me of
But
Harrison
the
Ford's
the-
recent plane crash. He
yeah.
crashed
What?
his plane. He was flying it over a golf course,
Yeah.
and there was like a sorry.
He had to land it. He had a choice. He tried to lure it away
He
from
tried-
you know
It was stuck to my
hitting
foot, so
like
he tried to turn around and go
a s-
back to where he took off. Yeah, and he
try not to
landed
kill
in a golf
people.
course
And
hit
he
the top of a
yeah,
tree and crash landed, and apparently he went to the hospital. No, apparently
Is it
he
severe?
ran away, and they took him to the hospital, and he's doing fine. Yeah.
Jesus
Nice.
Christ! Life just
Yeah.
wants to shoot him in the
broke an
face.
ankle in the start.
Why did I say nice? I'm sorry
Yeah.
for saying that.
Set of Star Wars and then crashes his plane. So, not his year.
Wow. Didn't he like break his leg like
Yeah,
during the
Dawkins
shooting?
broke his
The shoot?
Broke his
Yeah.
leg or his ankle or something, I can't remember.
I mean, the guy's already
Oh,
a
yeah.
certified legend. I
Yeah.
mean, the fact that he was in that situation, I wouldn't know what to do.
So,
I wouldn't know what to do. Obviously, I have no training in being a pilot, but
And at his age, he still wants to do a new
Yeah.
yeah.
Indiana
since,
Jones film.
that's not. I
If
don't
you'd be
have
up,
that.
if
That
you'd
doesn't
be up
happen.
to seeing Chris
I hope
Pratt, yeah,
They get Chris Pratt.
not Shia Booth.
The thing with Chris Pratt is he's one of those actors, and this same goes with Benedict Cumberbatch, where they're in everything because they were in this film and it was so popular, and now everyone wants him. Like Benedict Cumberbatch is in everything. He's now playing
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, which is good. I can't wait to see what he does with the role, but it just gets a little oversaturated to just have Benedict Cumberbatch and Chris Pratt in every movie. It's
Yeah.
like, all the time. I
Well,
hear
Chris Pratt came out of nowhere, was very obscure.
yeah,
Then he's in the limelight
Oh, yeah.
instantly.
he used to be. I don't know if you've seen Parks and Rec, but he played this big fat nerdy guy. But then when you see the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy, everyone was just like, "Whoa, that fat guy from Parks and Rec,
Yeah,
he
he really
beefed up."
He got
Whoa.
really pumped up for a movie he was doing about him actually being one of the soldiers that killed Bin Laden.
Oh yeah, Zero
Oh,
Dark Thirty.
Yeah,
I'd get
Zero
upset.
Dark
he got
Though.
properly ripped for that.
Is it good?
And then as soon as he was done with that, he then gained like 50 pounds for another role he had to do where he was a fat gay again. So he was actually on Conan, I think it was, doing an interview about this movie he was doing where he was ultra ripped, and then he was actually sat there and he was a bit of a fat ass. So Chris Pratt goes from being fat to super buff to fat to super buff to fat.
Yeah.
Can't be good for him.
That's kind of
Yeah,
like
but
the
that
Christopher
doesn't-
Nolan.
That doesn't
Yeah.
be Christian Bale and his.
No, that's
his
it, Christian Bale.
transformation. He was in
From
the
ultra buff
Machinist.
to skinny as a twig.
Yeah, and then in Batman Begins, he just completely transformed, and then he went on to be, a fat lard ass guy in American Hustle. Yeah, but yeah, he just proved it to everyone that he's able to do that.
Who's the guy? The guy who played Jason Bourne. He was Private Ryan. Matt Damon.
Oh,
he
Matt
was in a
Damon.
role where he smoked cigarettes and just lost absolutely tons of weight, got super skinny and super unhealthy for a role, and then he went in for and was recommended to be playing Private Ryan in Saving Private Ryan. And the only reason we're not hiring you
Yeah.
to play him is because you're too skinny. And it was because he went to...
You know what? People keep saying that I look like him.
No, I don't
Yeah.
No, I don't think you do look like him.
Someone, I think it was, I don't know, some kid. He just said it was uncanny. Like I was him. I would look like him. I don't know. Do you really care about people comparing you to like a celebrity? Like, in terms of appearance, obviously.
Some guy I've never
Not
heard
in
of
terms of
before.
status.
I always forget who it is, but people keep...
The
No,
BFG?
I'm not a big friendly giant.
Oh, no.
Only joking.
I've never been
Poor
said
guy.
that to me before. The big friendly giant, really?
Really?
Wow, Bradley. Wow,
Actually,
you just
I'm
killed
actually
our
quite
podcast
sure.
right here, right now.
No, I keep
I'm
getting
really
compared to
sorry.
this. I think it's a musician that I never remember the name of.
Sting?
No.
Sting?
Not Sting. Who am I thinking of?
What, from the police?
Not Sting. I'm thinking of someone completely different. I'm probably going to get shot for that.
What was the name of it?
No.
Choose your words wisely, my friend.
Slash. Slash because of your hair.
Slash.
Because of your hair. If it got that long.
He looks like a rock star, obviously. That's why Bradley said that, because he looks
I
like a
don't
rock
look
star.
like a rock star.
Anyway.
I don't look like any of the rock stars that Bradley has described me as, or the BFG.
No.
Anyway,
I
looks like
apologise.
Elijah Wood.
Apologise to all
I
the
don't
listeners.
look like Elijah Wood.
Apart from, you don't look like you're 18,
Well-
even though he's like 34 now.
Oh, he's young
Elijah
as
Wood's
hell.
in his 30s and he still looks exactly the same as he did in Lord of the Rings.
How old was he when
18.
they filmed Lord of the
was
Rings? He
18
was like
when they
19?
filmed the first one, and by the time they finished, he was 21. And he's now like 35
Oh,
or 6. And he looks
Can you imagine that?
amazing.
Can you imagine that? Just being...
Yeah,
I
but
think
where
he
else
was
do you
our
go
age
from
when he
there?
started filming Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Can you imagine just being a part of a franchise at such a young age? This is like... This goes to like the young... Do you know the guy that played Anakin, the young Anakin?
Yeah, what
Kids
else has he been in?
Fat
Yeah.
Nothing
Not-
great.
not the
He quit,
kids.
basically. I've seen interviews with him at like Comic-Con conventions, and he seems like a really depressed dude because of that movie. And I've heard stories that he
cuts himself at night because he was such a terrible actor.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
No.
But no, I don't. No, he wasn't the problem in the movie. He was a child actor.
Yeah, he was right.
I don't think he realized what he was into, like what he was going into. Because Star Wars is, so huge.
He wasn't Jar Jar Binks, so...
But he seems like he's really insecure about, talking to people and stuff like that. And can you just imagine that just being so damaging to you at such a young age? Like everyone's just like, oh, you're a kid.
Well, think how Macaulay Culkin feels.
You had to mention
No,
him.
but he was in. But he's. I'm talking about a film that just ruined you.
No, it was
Yeah,
he was
Macaulay
part of it.
Culkin.
No, because he was in Home Alone movies and they were good.
Yeah, they were good, but
They were
what else
good
are you going to
movies,
get
but
remembered
then
for?
He ruined himself.
I'm talking about being a part of a film that was so bad, to many fans.
Did you know Elijah Wood and Macaulay Culkin were in a film
Yes,
together
I do.
as children? Yes.
Cool.
Yeah,
I don't know
Macaulay
what film
Culkin
that
is an
is.
evil little...
Yeah.
like, evil.
So, I think it's separate cases because with the kid who played Anakin, the movie ruined his career. But with Macaulay Culkin, he had
Yeah.
a great career.
Yeah,
great
he
career,
moved
and
on
ruined
from
it
that.
himself because he started doing drugs and having
Yeah.
secret sex with Michael Jackson.
No, it wasn't drugs. I heard that he
sex
just
with
got
Michael
bullied a
Jackson.
lot.
That's controversial right there. I shouldn't say that.
I wouldn't
Are we
count
talking
that as
about
bullying.
Culkin or Anakin? Little Annie.
Annie!
Oh, have you seen what he looks like now?
Oh,
Proper
Ah.
heroin addict looking. Just looks so
it's not
schizophrenic.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's got a band where all they do is replace lines in films with lines in songs with pizza.
Oh,
That
sounds
sounds
shit.
good. Pizza, pizza, pizza. Pizza, pizza, pizza. Is that what you mean? Just all the lyrics?
No, like they change certain things like love and you and things like
Pizza,
names.
pizza,
We built
pizza.
this
Oh!
Yeah, like that.
We built this pizza on rock and
We put this pizza on rock and roll.
I hope the entire podcast, the rest of the podcast
Hopefully
isn't
not.
just us singing
Hopefully not.
variations of songs.
No,
That would just be... That could be its separate video.
open
or,
pizza style.
Yeah, at the
Podcast,
expo
so-
that I went to yesterday,
That was
they were
terrible,
also
man.
showing off the new Samsung phones. I think it's the A, and the curve. This one of the curved edges, and then there was the 6 that's basically ripping off the new iPhone. And those were interesting. I think.
Yeah.
Obviously, they'll have no.
Does it bend?
It doesn't blend.
But does it
doesn't
bend, though?
Bend.
Bend.
So they're
Bend,
ripping them off
blend.
apart from they have a
Whatever.
stereo OS, and they don't die in your pocket.
The material is so bad, though. A
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of new phones. It's like
I
just
must
so
admit,
fragile.
My S5 is certainly a sturdy machine, though. I've dropped my S5 screen first
Mine's-
onto floors, and it's fine.
My phone's doing alright.
Mine's an iPhone 3GS that I've had for 4 years, and it's still going strong.
Wow.
Like, I've obviously learned that
If you want, I'll
there's no
buy
need
an
for it to
iPhone.
buy a new phone.
If you want, if you give me 50 quid, which will help me get an iPhone, to help me get an iPhone 5S, I'll give you my 4S.
And you can
For
take
that
your
money.
iPhone to shop at Grasses.
I wouldn't, because I feel like I'm
which is running on a superior.
I feel like abandoning my child if I did that.
Trust me, 4S will get you, and you'll be like, oh, why the fuck was I with 3GS?
No, I can't. That's my baby.
That's
my-
like, that's
my baby.
like
I sound
saying,
so creepy. I sound like my MJ to Macaulay Culkin. That's the relationship I have with my phone. I love you, fam.
That was a reference to a Frankie Boyle joke, so.
Frankie.
right,
Boyle.
I believe we may have overdone this a little bit. Anybody
Fine.
got any closing remarks at all?
I had this in my head.
Okay, go
when I
ahead.
mentioned Independence Day, I still say that quote. That guy
Welcome to
says.
Earth.
Yeah, that's a good quote. But there's the one where the guy he flies his plane into the spaceship. And he says, "Hello, boys, I'm back."
Then he comes back in the new one and
Legendary.
fucks it up.
Yeah, because he's like that one drunk guy in that town.
The crazy guy that actually.
I saw them. I saw them with my own eyes. And yeah, that was cool. I love that. And he blew up the whole entire ship just from flying
Who
into the.
gave him a plane?
Well, they needed all the people they could get, didn't they?
So they
When
gave a
when
crazy
the president
person.
gave that inspiring speech.
It's great.
Yeah.
That got everyone going.
Yeah, I think. Not,
Jack, any
not really,
closing
no.
thoughts?
It's been about an hour and 45 minutes. I think it's time to wrap this up, and hopefully it goes well.
So it was recording.
Yeah, we've.
I'm so happy. My recorder ended. It only managed to get 10 minutes.
Okay, well,
The
I've been
first 10
going for about
minutes.
an hour and
Oh,
46, so,
I'm sorry.
hopefully we'll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry to drop the bombshell on you.
To ourselves for nothing this whole time.